so much for tuning into Her TV. I'm Karen Stephanie B, and I got a very special guest with me today, Fredo.
What's going on, everybody?
How you feeling?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Taking time out of your day and coming through.
No, man. I appreciate the invite. I appreciate you reaching out. I've been looking forward to doing the interview. So
nice.
Yes.
So really quick, I do this with every guest. Pretty much, state your name for people that don't really know who you are, familiar with your music. Just let them know your name, how long you've been an artist for, and where do you reside at?
So my name is Fredo. It's spelled Xfredo. I'm from Riverside, California. Pretty much grew up out here in IE. I've been doing music. I was kind of got a late start to it. We started messing around with it. My friends were all like in hardcore bands and different stuff like that. So I would freestyle here and there when we were kids. And then probably 2012, 2013, my friend was renting a house in OC, and he had we were building a mini ramp in the backyard, and he had a bunch of band equipment and recording equipment. So he made like a hip hop beat that he had, and me and a couple of the homies just got on it, just messing around. And then one of them put it on SoundCloud, and everyone was like, "Damn, was that Fredo?" And then so my friend made another beat. He's like, "This time just you, like this time just Fredo get on it." And then I did another one. Like, posted it again. I didn't even have a SoundCloud or nothing. I never used SoundCloud. I was probably.
What year is this?
This is probably like 2012. Probably like 2012. I wasn't even like in SoundCloud or nothing like that. Probably maybe even 2011, maybe. But yeah, I wasn't even like rapping wasn't even like a thought. You know what I mean? And then he showed me. He's like, "Yo, look how many plays this shit got like on SoundCloud." And it wasn't like nothing crazy. I think it was like 200 plays, but for not even trying, you know what I mean? And we were like really, really shocked. All the homies listened to it and shit, and like replayed it. So it was like 100, 200 plays. We're like, "What? That's crazy." And I know I listened to it probably like 7 times. You know what I mean? So I'm like trying to like, who else listened to it? And then one of my other homies, then like I made a SoundCloud. I posted some songs. I forgot which ones. Try to like use different people's beats and shit. You know what I mean? Like download them off the internet. On my Lil Wayne shit, and then like I never really posted anything, and then one of my homies that I was in class with at Cal State San Bernardino, we were both communications majors, so we knew each other. We had like 2 classes together. He was from like the Fontana area, so like we were cool. He knew me just from school. I knew him just from school. And then one day I come across his Twitter, and he raps and he does videos. So then I'm like, "Oh, what?" Like, we link up. He does a quick video for me. Shout out to homie Finesse too. And then we do a quick video like in front of the indoor swap meet here in Corona.
Oh, really?
Before they tore it down. And so this is probably now like 2012 for sure, 2013. And we post the video, and then it's just like not even nothing crazy. No, I didn't even really get too many views. But the homie Noah James saw it. So then I go to a Common Ground show, and I'm going to watch, I think it was Blue or Murs, someone like that. I was going to watch them, and then Noah was sitting at the front like he always did at the Common Ground. Shout out to my brother Noah James too, because that's my dog. That's like my bro. We go back. And me and Noah had maybe met once before. I don't even think so. And as I'm walking in, I want to introduce myself. He's like, "Yo, I actually just seen your video today. That's crazy." He's like, "Do you want to perform soon?" And I was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah."
Damn.
Probably like a couple weeks later, I came back and just did my first show, and it was like a pretty packed Common Ground. I remember, and I performed, and I remember doing like relatively well. You know what I mean? For my first performance. I had done like little pre-performances before, like we had a big party at the tattoo shop. I got a lot of homies that used to work at 6th Street Tattoo Shop in Corona, and a lot of dudes were like in punk bands and shit too. My homie Corn Dog, rest in peace, he would like he had a band, and then would add me, and he would have me open up because it was like a punk rock show. So he thought it would be dope that I would come out rapping, because people would be like kind of tripping at first. Like, why is this dude rapping like at this dive bar at a punk show? So these dudes were like, I wasn't doing it really, but then I'd be kind of getting off, and then my homies the whole time were kind of just setting up. And then next thing you know, like, then they people would be fucking with it, and then my homies would just go on and just crush the punk show. And people were like, yo, I don't even listen to rap, but that shit was pretty tight, you know what I mean? And then that was my little like preparation.
Yeah.
And I did my show at the Common Ground. I got my little IE buzz going, and then just started booking more shows, collabing with more artists. I did finally I put together like a project. I had enough songs. It was called Potential and Procrastination, because that's literally.
Oh, obviously my show is called Her TV, and it's inspired by Common's hip hop in its essence is real. I used to love her. So I ask this to my guests a lot. Growing up, what made you fall in love with her? Like the first song you could ever think of that made you be like, damn, like I want in on this sport, pretty much.
Well, I always I tell everyone I didn't learn English till I was like 8 years old, and how I learned English was like listening to hip hop. I would words. I would hear them and I would never understand them until I heard them in a song. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, like it was just like enlightening. You know what I mean? It was just enlightening. And then,
could you recall a song that made you like, damn?
I always say "Dear Mama" by Tupac, just because I remember like that was like a song that even my mom was like super down with. You know what I mean? When Tupac died on my 8th birthday. In '96, my birthday September 13th. Okay. So I remember going to school that morning thinking like, oh man, Pac's in the hospital, he's gonna get out today. Like thinking as a little kid. And then I remember getting out from school and like rushing home to like catch the news and get the updates on like what's going on my birthday, and being like so bummed out that he didn't make it out the hospital and all that shit. Yeah. So then I remember thinking like, damn, I'm like super into like Tupac, and then like I remember Bone Thugs was super like just for rapping so fast, and I was like shocked I could understand it. But the first song that I could really say, I was like really hip hop. You know, once I would probably say that it was already later, like I was already a fan of hip hop, but that really like made me respect the art and craft was when I heard Dances with Devils by Immortal Technique. Okay. Yeah. When I heard that song, I remember thinking like, damn, like that's just completely other genre of rap that I had never seen before. Like to just like illustrate what he did. So then those are just like certain points, but I feel like because of just where I grew up, like I was like born into it. You know what I mean? It's like how certain countries, like if salsa music is like I'm Ecuadorian, so in Ecuador, like you know if you like listen to hip hop or something else, like you got that shit elsewhere, you know what I mean? Because that's not like the music you were like born into, your culture. To me, like I feel like I was like already born into it. My older sister was already listening to it. Like my neighbors were already listening to hip hop. You know what I mean? You were already hearing it on the radio by the time I was like a kid. So, I don't know. I remember. I would probably just say just like the whole "Dear Mama" song was probably the one that I remember thinking like, damn, even my mom fucks with rap.
I believe it. I believe it, of course. Sure. And that's what kind of like intrigued me about you as an artist, because I mean my second home is the IE. I'm from Orange County, but getting to know local artists like yourself, Noah James, Cam Nolly, and there's so like Birdie and just others, you know, getting to know you guys a little bit more through your music, your catalog of music. It just intrigues me because, like you just said, I mean, you're not like in a rush to some people. Like I feel like you're just so nonchalant, like chill about this, you know, about the sport. And to me, that's kind of like gravitated me to you and through your music. Because again, like there's so many people that I gotta put this out. Like of course, like this is the area where you gotta put content. You gotta push the content out as much as possible. But you're just kind of like on chill mode. Well,
and the thing is, and I tell everyone like, sometimes my homies will be like, oh, this is my homie Fredo. He's a rapper, and I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm doing so much more than rapping. Like, I don't really consider myself a rapper. I feel like I'm doing all this other shit, and then I'll rap about it. But I mean, it's not like I'm over here. Like, very rarely do I have that type of like, yo, let me put you on my shit, bump my shit, because I mean, I understand that effort, and so there's times too where it's like I'm in like a battle with myself, because there's times where I'm like, yo, I need to kind of push this shit harder and kind of self-promote myself. If I don't promote myself, nobody else will. But then there's also times too where, like I think of this Rick Ross interview. He said it once in the Breakfast Club, and then he said it once again in the Joe Budden interview that he recently did. but he always said, like, rap is not my most lucrative venture. Like, I'm not in a rush. He says, like, I still don't do 20, 30-day tours. Like, I don't need to. Like, yeah, that generates income. He's like, but, like, that's not really, like, I'm not pressed by anyone. Like, and the people that do listen to my music, I feel like there's still so many new people who listen to my music, and everything's still so new. Like, I'm still now, every day, it's like, yo, bro, I seen you've been posting shit forever, and I'm barely now listening. I'm like, cool, catch up. And then now I feel more comfortable, like, if I gotta drop a song. I think prior to, like, once I was like this kind of like a nobody, I guess, not to say I'm somebody now, but I felt like I had that little bit of more like sense of urgency.
Of course, yeah.
Because I was more just young and didn't know what the hell I was doing or where I was gonna kind of like where I was taking this. Now I know my lane. Like, now I know I'm not on this type of shit, or so I feel like the more I live, that's what then also generates those like creative juices, you know what I mean? So that's why I've never had that sense of urgency, because I never came into this being like, yo, I'm gonna be the best rapper in the IE, I'm about to come over here and shit on everybody, nobody's got shit on me. Like, I don't need that shit. Like, everyone should feel the best, everyone should be confident in themselves, but like, I'm not in competition with nobody, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that any rapper could do, big or small, that's gonna necessarily like keep me from making money, you know what I mean? So as far as my quality of life, like, yeah, that's my, like, I'd rather travel, and then once I travel, I come back, I'm like, all right, cool, I got some shit to write about.
Get inspired,
Exactly, yes.
No, I mean, I love that, because I remember I was talking to, shout out to DJ Head, I was talking to him a couple weeks ago, I want to say maybe a little over a month ago, and I remember we were talking about this one live stream. He went with some uprising artists, I want to say. I remember Head asking him, like, but why do you want to get into it? And he was just like, man, I just want the fucking bag. Sorry. But he was just like, you know, okay, yeah, I mean, the bag's gonna eventually come, but what else do you want to get into it for? But he just kept mentioning the bag, and then I'm telling Head, like, why don't you just like put him on blast? Like, you are normally to put people on blast. Like, I was gonna put him on blast.
For sure.
And then he's just like, Karen, but he taught me something, and like, he didn't teach me something, he kind of reminded me, because I was once in that place where, you know, everybody's circumstances is different, and everybody gets into this game for different reasons.
100%.
So he says to me, you know, you gotta have an open mind, because maybe you don't know what that person is going through, and yeah, he might be good, but he's just focused on the bad.
Absolutely.
And so maybe when he pushes it along, it's gonna open his mind a little bit. And it's true, because it does take me back to a place where me, myself, I mean, we've all gone through trials and tribulations, so I get it. So that made me open it, and that's part of the reason too why kind of, you know, your music kind of intrigues me a little bit, or a whole lot, I should say.
Thank you.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that, to me, that's the reason why, I mean, for instance, before music, I was already ambitious enough to not go broke.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go broke. I'm not gonna invest in anything that won't generate me. Like, I'm not gonna do anything that's gonna get me an L. You know what I mean? Whether it be in music, whether it be in me investing in merch, whether it be investing in putting together a show, whether it be anything. Like, I've never been that. So music is the exact same concept. Like, I already have a passion for it. Like, I'm gonna create regardless. Like, that's my own form of self-reflection. I know that just like the life that I've lived up until this point, for instance, like, when people say, like, oh, why are you different? Like, what makes you different than every other artist out there? I feel like the one thing about me is that I'm not necessarily like the most different dude. I feel like I'm just like this dude, and then I'm just like this dude, and then I'm just like, because I did the whole college thing, but then I've been also out here, you know, in Riverside, out here running around for a minute, you know what I mean? So I've walked like both lines. Like, I always reference like to my former students and stuff. I'll tell them, like, yo, watch the Bronx Tale. Like, you gotta have an education in the streets, and you gotta have an education, you know, from the books.
So the latest EP, correct me if I'm wrong, Real Life Love Raps Volume 2, is that the latest one?
Yes.
Okay, so which dropped earlier this year, and singles like I'm Tired, Late Night Bullshit, Sex With Me Part 2, Second Date, If You Know, You Know, which that one, I feel that one a lot.
Thank you.
Are these songs inspired by a certain shorty, or they're just different experiences throughout the years just being an MC?
No, that particular project, I put it together with, so I always have used and referenced different experiences, and then have sometimes been able to collectively put together in one song. So if I talk about, like on sex, I might say like sex on a balcony, and then talk about something on the beach. Might not be the same person, might not be the same date, but those are different experiences, you know what I mean?
Got you.
When I made Real Life Love Raps Volume 2, I wanted it to be more of like a streamlined almost story. And I really wasn't inspired by anything that was really, I don't know, I wasn't necessarily, what can I say, my bad.
No, Mike trying to, no.
I wasn't really like involved with anybody. So like Real Life Love Raps Volume 1, I was kind of like, finally decided like, all right, I've had enough relationships that I got like some clap back and things to say, you know what I mean? Because I really don't talk, I'm usually on my player shit or talk my shit. So this is the time like, all right, I'm gonna go get like emotional with them and like be soft. And then that was a while ago, so then I wasn't really in that vibe, you know what I mean? And I just wasn't, like I really needed those experiences. And then I had a quick experience with a particular female, and I told myself too, like I've always been like fearful or reluctant to immortalize a female. You know what I mean? Like once you really make a song about her, once you put her in a video or something, like that's just there forever. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I've always been mindful of that, and then I told myself like, well, I'm not only like confident enough in myself, but in my experiences and my way of articulating things, that I could talk about certain experiences that I know other people have. So then with Real Life Love Raps Volume 2, it's the whole story is the whole 4 or 5 songs is pretty much about a relationship that I had. In song 1 is like this girl DM me on Instagram, tells me like, yo, she likes my music. Cool.
And that's what you know, if you know, you know, right?
So then it starts off with if you know, you know. And then the only reason why I called it that is because then she had said some shit too. There's just like a lot of like wordplay that goes into it with the songs. But so then I mean, I told myself like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and, it's not like this girl's like the love of my life or anything crazy, you know what I mean? But I already told myself like, oh, this was already interesting enough that I knew I was gonna write about it eventually. Like I met her, she wrote me on Instagram. She was kind of just complimenting my music. At first I thought it was like a catfish or something. I didn't even talk to her. I like brushed her off, like all the DMs. I was like cool, just liking her message or just like. I was just not, you know, I just try not to come off like thirsty or nothing. So I was like, all right, for sure, thank you, I appreciate you listening, cool. And then she tells me, like, a meaningful point was that she tells me that one of the songs that she liked the most was the one that I had made about my best friend passing away. And she tells me that her brother passed away. So I'm like, all right, word. Like
already connection.
Right. So then that's where I was like, okay, like I took a second, I was like, let me not be an asshole and like let me have a real exchange, because I felt that. I was like, word. And then she tells me, she's like, but the craziest part is that she's like, yeah, his birthday, because his birthday just passed, it was on September 13th. I'm like, oh shit, that's my birthday.
Wow, that's crazy.
So then there's like another little like connection. So then we probably only like DM'd for like not even 2 weeks, and then one day she's like, yo, you want to link up for a beer? I was like, cool. We linked up. And then this is all like the first song, but it's all real life shit. So then we linked up for a beer. We hit it off. She was cool. She wasn't a catfish. You know what I mean? And then that's it. Like we bounced, kicked it for a couple hours, chopped it up. She was cool. And then text a couple days later. And then song 2 is because while we were texting, she's like, yeah, I've been trying to go to a trip. I was like, I'm always booking flights going somewhere, like I'm down. She's like, no, I know you're not, I'm down. Calls my bluff. I was like, for sure. And like the very next weekend after me meeting her, we go to San Francisco. So then I was like, as soon as that shit like happened, I was on the plane, I was thinking, I was like, I'm for sure writing a rap about this. Like, I barely met this girl not even 2 weeks ago. Like
was
I
already
barely
in love.
I barely even met her for the first time like a couple days ago. I seen her in person. I met her on a Sunday, and then Friday we were already flying to.
Nice.
We were flying to Frisco. So then that was another song, and then song 3 is about like us being turned up. So then I made a song about being turned up with like your girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's man, I'm all looking late night bullshit. I'm all trying to remember the names of the song. Late night bullshit. And so then that's a song about like turning us with my brother A Kane. Shout out my dog A Kane. But then so then we made that, like, even my homie was tripping. He's like, dog, is this shit all real? Like, you were just posting that you were in San Francisco. I'm like, yeah. Me and that girl didn't end up dating for too long. That whole situationship lasted about 2 months, 3 months. So it wasn't like it was like, but I knew it was a unique enough of a situation that I could probably illustrate enough. And it's all facts. It's not like I'm embellishing anything. Yeah. But I knew like that experience. I was like, for sure, I gotta, because I swear, sometimes like, my life is like a movie sometimes. Dude. I know everybody feels that way sometimes, but some shit is, people even tell me, yo, I can't believe this shit happened to you. So.
Word, I feel it. No, I get it. And then do some girls that you write about, do they know that you're writing about them? Or, I mean, do they?
See, I never, how I just said, I don't really feel like, I don't want to immortalize anybody, so I don't use names or nothing like that. I have in the past, but like, for instance, this girl, I won't say her name, but she was telling me, she's like, I can't even tell anybody this shit's about me if I wanted to, because, like, who's gonna believe me? Like, there's just no way. So she knows, like, when she heard it at first, she's like, well, because the artwork I used was the screenshot of the original DM she sent me. That's the artwork to the song. So when so I mean, you know, females will hear some shit and they're like, oh, okay, like, I heard you say this, I know what you're talking about.
Of course.
For sure.
Okay, so you do have an interesting music catalog, like I said before, from 2012 EPs to I listened to, I think it was the one event we were talking about, Break to Your Face. The one that intrigued me the most out of some of your cuts is For the Thrill. That's from, and then it goes from projects to Local Gold presents Potential and Procrastination, the YTM, short for Young Thug and Motivated.
Yeah.
Fast forward to 2019 to EPs about, you know, mostly about girls and ladies. So do you think that coming into 2020, you're going to have more cuts, like a mixture of it all, like of, you know, the hustle and you just, you know, being focused on certain things, or it's just going to be like a mixture of just everything? Yeah,
I think now is where I feel like I've touched bases on the diversity of different type of subject matters, you know what I mean? I could, like last year, I released, or with some of them released, I had like boom bap, and I had like some songs where I just knew I just wanted to rap to prove I could rap. Yeah. And then I had like my shit where I could talk my shit and kind of just, you know, like do my thing. So I was like, all right, so then I got that out of the way. I feel that I've touched on enough bases now, even like me talking about females and relationships and stuff, even like getting like explicit with certain like sexual details and shit like that. Yeah. Now that I've kind of overcame those barriers where people are like, oh shit, you never know what he could say now. He could be talking about this now. Now I feel like I've kind of, now I can integrate it into a more, how can I say it, like diverse project. Because before, like how I was doing it was just basic. So like Real Live Love Raps was just all love songs. And then last year, 2018, I think, I did The Witching Hour. And it was all like hard beats, and it was like near Halloween, and I wanted shit to slap and wanted it just to be kind of more grimy. And so that was just one genre in itself. I wasn't talking no soft shit. I was just. I heard that you. I was just kind of just talking my shit. And then before that was more like introductionary. So now I'm like, I feel like I've covered the bases. You know what I mean? I feel like I've already shown my soft side. I've shown my tough side. My earlier music, I touched a lot about like on school, because I was like in my college hustle and then barely graduating, kind of on that grind. So now I feel like I've touched on on everything enough that whatever I come with now, whether it be a project, because I don't know if I'm gonna drop a project soon. I'm actually gonna drop a project with my brother A. Kane.
Lethal Weapon, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So Lethal Weapon's coming very soon. We were supposed to link last night, but some shit came up. But we already got the songs done. We're just gonna mix and master them, knock out a visual or two. This one's gonna be 3 tracks. But yeah, so I try to keep it short and like theme. So now for this next, for 2020 for sure, it'll be more. You know what? It's hard to say. I've been traveling a lot, so I definitely plan on talking about different places. I start name dropping places I've actually been, for sure.
Okay. So my top favorite is from Volume 1, Hate That I Love You, and then For the Thrill, of course, and then Prelude, right? And then Level Up. To me, I felt like Level Up was just not necessarily like a comeback, but just like, you know, your own personal anthem of whatever you possibly have gone through.
Yes.
So I feel like, you know.
I appreciate you saying that, because
really?
that is definitely how I visualized that when I.
Yeah, I felt it, man. Yeah, I felt it. And so with that being said, being your personal anthem, I mean, that song to me, it made me feel like you just pretty much, you know, talking about how you become wiser and just, you know, whatever the stuff that you have already gone through. But what is your definition of level up?
Honestly, I'm very big on progress. I don't believe there's a final destination for anything. I don't believe that success is like, yo, once I get this house, then I made it. Or once I made this, like, I know more, like, to me, my level up is just straight progress. So whatever I got going right now, I definitely need to, like, by nowhere am I content, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm super happy, I appreciate it, but I definitely, my level up from here, I mean, as far as like tangible numbers and things that we can say, I mean, it's just now probably more, I'm gonna get back into doing shows. I stopped doing shows for a while just to kind of pump out music.
Yeah.
And then so now I have a bigger catalog to perform from, you know what I mean? So that's something I look forward to. So that's gonna be the level up. Definitely. I mean, more trips, I mean, it's just hard to say. I'm so ambitious with so many different things, like whether it be music or different projects that I have. So the level up is definitely just kind of progressing and doing better than what we previously did.
I feel it. So what made you shoot your video at a Mexican food joint? Because normally some artists, and that's why, again, I gotta repeat myself over and over again, that's what made me gravitate to you, because I feel like you're just completely different. And I feel like some artists would take it to like the club, pop bottles and have, you know, whatever, but you took it to like a Mexican food joint.
Yes.
I feel like that's so relatable, not only like just from the hood, but just, you know, people from the IE, because there's a Fredo joint at every spot, you know, whatever. So what made you pick that joint?
You know what? I drive by it a million times, like me being from here, I've seen it. The first time I went in there, it was just to buy a shirt, you know what I mean? And then there was a young dude that was working there, and he was pretty cool. I found out later it was like the owner's son. But the young dude knew my barber, so I already kind of knew like they were like cool people, you know what I mean? That they weren't gonna trip or nothing. And then and it's called Los Fredos, you know what I mean? So once I thought like, all right, what's gonna be like a good visual that I want to have something like here where people will know where I'm at, you know what I mean? So then as soon as I did it, like even the day that the video didn't even come out yet, but I posted on my story, people were like, oh wow, you're filming a video there? That's tight. So then that's kind of like the I don't know, the response I wanted. You know what I mean? I wanted people to be like, oh, I know exactly what that is. I think people feel a little more validated when they're knowledgeable about something. Exactly.
Okay, so you announced on IG that, you know, you're talking about Lethal Weapon Volume 1. What's that going to be more about?
You know what? It's funny you say that. So because we've been, and I kind of took the route, we're dropping like more love songs and stuff now. It's not so weird if I want to talk about women on a collab song with my homeboy. You know what I mean? Because before, I don't know, I feel like there might have been like a stigma, or if people weren't necessarily used to it at first, and you hear talking about it, all of a sudden it's like, these fools are called Lethal Weapon and they're talking about videos, like what? So I feel like now I feel like we could touch on everything, and like we really are like doing what we say we're doing, whether it be like on our business shit, because them up there, like my homie A Kane and Arlie and like Evan Konami and everyone over up at Mad Studios, like the whole homies up in Victorville, they got like a movement. They're a business that helps other marketing business. They do a lot of shit, and then they run a studio up there for other local artists. I mean, they do a lot. So when we're over here talking about like our businesses and what we're rapping about, me and Lethal Weapon, we're talking about like women or travels or business. We could kind of touch on everything now because I know that we're really, really doing this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's cool. I mean, for sure, just the quality of music. I mean, I tell everyone all the time, there's some shit I listen to, I'm like, man, I would do that shit so differently. Now, you know what I mean? I would enunciate different. I would take out a word. There's some shit where I'm like, why would I even flow like that?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, even now, I just feel like the music's quality. It's shit that even my other homies will be like, what? I didn't even know this shit was you. There's been times where I've been in the barbershop and they're playing my shit, and the other barbers that know me didn't even know that was my shit playing, and they knew the song, like they had heard it.
How does that make you feel? Because I feel like, you know, me being a new listener as well, I mean, I think I listened to your stuff a little bit last year, starting from last year. So I mean, how does that make you feel when you get new following and new listeners?
I'm most curious about like what song really got you, what lyric was it that got your attention? Like, that shit intrigues me so much. And people are like, oh yeah, I like that song. Like, not even to gas myself, but I'm like, but what is it? Tell me. I'm so curious. Like, what was it? Was it the beat? What was it that I said? I'm just so curious on like what, because I know there's certain songs like, ooh, that bar you said on this, that shit, I was sold, bro. Once I started it over. As soon as I heard that bar or whatever, I started the song over. And now I'm really listening because of that lyric. So when I hear people tell me, yo, that song, I fuck with that shit. I'm like, all right, tell me what was it? Not just because I want to know, like, what was it? Because I'm so curious. Because what might grab your attention is completely different. You know what I mean? And there's certain shit that I dislike about a song after I hear it, or I might not really care about it, or think it's like a basic ass bar. And then another homie will be like, yo, I can't believe you said that, dog. That shit was tight. I'm like, really, bro? I almost wanted to redo it. So,
what artist would you collaborate, dead or alive, and why?
I mean, Tupac for sure is just like an absolute automatic. Tupac, Bob Marley, Marvin Gaye.
Bob Marley, that was the first.
Really? Yeah. Oh my God, I can't imagine like what he would have to even say. I mean, it's not even so much of a collaboration, because to me, there's people that I collaborate with, and not even based off like a skill level, just because of conversations I can have with them that I know. They might not even be the dopest rappers. There's people I've collabed with that are just like, just because I fuck with as a person. So I think about it as like, imagine me sitting in the studio having a conversation. I'm smoking a blunt, Pop smoking a blunt. We're just talking about like, how are you feeling? What do you want to talk about? Like, that would be incredible.
Yeah.
Like, what is on your mind today, bro? And same thing with Bob Marley. Like, I can't imagine that type of session where he would just, you know, and then if it's going to be a collaborative song, there's going to be like a collaborative conversation. And yeah, it would be enlightening. Same thing with like Marvin Gaye. Like, I feel like he would just be so directive on like where, what to do. Yeah. And I mean, me being already making like certain love songs, I can't. A Marvin Gaye and Fredo song would be a rap. It would be crazy. So yeah, that'd be dead. Alive, I mean, definitely Drizzy. I've been a Drake fan since. I used to get so much shit for being a Drake fan. I used to get so much shit when I told him, I was like, yo, this fool fucks with Little Brother. This fool can rap. No one listen to me. Drake is for sure would be one. Forgot to say, that's R.I.P. Nipsey.
Of course.
I would have had, man, if I could do a song. Nipsey's still my favorite rapper. He was my favorite rapper when he was alive, for sure. Gave him his flowers. Yeah. Like, all my stories and everything, you can see all my homies know the tattoo shop days. Like, all the homies were sad when Nipsey passed.
How did you react to passing?
I cried. I was for sure bummed out. At first, I didn't believe it, and then I was just like, man, I got so many memories with so many different homies. With like, Nipsey's been like the theme song. It's been like the soundtrack to our lives. Like, even songs like, because I've opened for Nipsey twice. one time was at my birthday party in ProAbiton.
Really?
And it was Nipsey was headlining, and it was my birthday, and I was the only one performing. And it was, and like I had a lot of the homies there, so that was just like a big moment, you know what I mean, for the city, because everyone was all like, oh, okay, like Fredo's doing something. There's a lot of other rappers in the building that day. They were all kind of salty because they didn't get to perform. So everyone was really there to see Nipsey, and I was pretty much the only opener, the only one that got to perform. So that would have been
That's what's up,
that would have been crucial. Shout out my homie Jason J. Warhol, because he's the plug, and he always takes care of me, and he's a wild guy. Man, what's up, Dragon?
Yeah. What is the last book you actually read? Because I'm trying to switch it up here and do a little trivia.
Okay.
So if you do read, what was the last book that you read?
I do read. You know what? For the longest time, I had the problems not finishing books. I love to read, but my mom says it's my commitment issue. But I'm just once I kind of get into a book, if it's really, really not engaging me, and it kind of gets monotonous, I'm curious to find a new story. But one of my books that I really read, that I really, really encourage everyone to read, is a book called The Lifetime of Observations on and Off the Court by John Wooden. And that shit was just full of bars. It's very short, like blurbs on different topics. Like he'll write a page, maybe 2 pages on honesty, on marriage, on love, on hard work, on just different morals and fundamentals, on fame, different things, on money. But that's one book that I read that I could come back to now. I still keep it. I don't even take it out of my bag on my travel backpack, because that's one book that at any time, anywhere I'm at, I can just open it up now and just pick up from there, and it's just bars, just straight bars. So yeah, that's probably the last book. Right now I'm reading 3 Magic Words by U.S. Anderson. I just got into it. I've been opening it here and there. I got that book in my office. The thing is with my books, I don't travel with them. They're like my designated book. So like I got that book in my backpack. Yeah. That's like my backpack book. And then I got a book in my office right now called 3 Magic Words by U.S. Anderson. It was actually recommended by Nipsey. It was he mentioned it in like 3-4 interviews, and then once he passed, I'd seen some posts. There was a list of all the books that Nipsey had recommended. Yeah. And so one of the first ones that was most recommended by Nip was 3 Magic Words. So I bought it off Amazon, and then I got that in my office. I've been posting about it lately, about prompters and about, like life and your physical choices and mental choices. It's dope. But yeah, I'm really big on like self-help, self-reflecting, level up books like that. That's also my like essence of level up, is like my mental level up.
Of course, you have to. I mean, it's crazy that you said that, because when Nipsey passed, before he actually passed, he did a Q&A with Lauren, and she talked about Sacred Women. So I'm actually reading that right now. I'm in the middle of finishing that one, and I'm telling you, like, when I'm done, like, so I feel you, and I feel like that's just, to me, a level up. That's why I had to ask you, what book do you read, because to me, I feel like it tells a lot from an artist, like, what he's reading upon. So.
Oh, for sure. I mean, to me, just the intake of knowledge. Yeah. I mean, you don't even have to be a reader. I get it. Some people just don't have the interest, you know what I mean, or whatever, to sit down and read and open up a book. But like the intake of knowledge to me is huge. Yeah. To me, it's huge. Like I'm like a student of everything. I'm always learning. Like whether it be interviews or podcasts or TED Talks. Like I've always been into TED Talks. So to me, I feel like that's big for an artist. I judge an artist a lot based off like those type of things. Like even my homies are dudes that I affiliate or associate with. Like if you're not one of those dudes that just at least have some sort of keen like interest for more knowledge, I'm not really. We're probably not gonna connect on a lot.
Okay, so you're like an intellectual type of dude then.
Yeah.
Okay. So since you have all these cuts lately about women, I would have to ask you this: are you a lover or a fighter?
Oh, I'm for sure a lover. Okay. I'm for sure a lover. Like I don't honestly, I'm not good at arguing with females. Like I don't even argue with dudes, really. So that's probably the issue that I have with my relationships. is that I don't deal well with turmoil, so I usually just like once we start getting rocky, I'm like, yo, we don't gotta fight. I'm a lover. I'm a lover all the way. I don't want to fight about nothing. I don't get mad about nothing. So I'm just trying to love. But I can't take attitudes well. So
okay,
but yeah, no, I'm for sure lover.
Okay.
Big time lover.
Okay. So I have to ask you this since your video was at Fredo's Mexican food joint. So. Are you rocking with vegan tacos or just regular tacos?
You know what? I'm not against vegan tacos.
Okay.
I'm not like a vegan hater.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. I'm anything I can do to be healthy, I'll do it. But nothing hits like al pastor tacos.
I feel you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I go to. Have you been to Tacos La Central?
No, I haven't. I've been to like since I've been here. I've been to like Mijo Tacos. I think that's how I used to.
No, this one's in Colton. This one.
And then, my favorite joint, I keep it local. So, I mean, I went to high school in Norte Vista, so I go to the one over here, Miranchito.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like my spot right there.
Okay.
But, yeah, I gotta try that place.
Definitely. No, for sure. I mean, if there's vegan tacos, I might have one. But the shit is, and you know what? And I'm not even a cheap ass, but you can't be charging $6, $5 for one vegan taco.
You know what? I was telling my cousin this the other day. I wish there was like a veggie grill because I mean, there's like $3 worth of like I don't know tofu buffalo wrap, and that shit's my favorite. So I mean, I wish there was something like that over here, but I gotta go from like Whole Foods or like I gotta travel to Crenshaw or Slauson to get my vegan stuff. What's your all-time favorite lyric to recite?
There's different. I mean, I have a lot of favorite lyrics. Most of my tattoos are influenced by lyrics and by songs. One that I always say is Biggie's "Sky's the Limit," and it's he says in the song he calls it the hustler's prayer, but he says if the game makes me or breaks me, I hope it makes me a better man to take a better stand, put money in my mom's hand, and get my daughter this college plan so that she don't need no man. Stay far from timid, only make moves when your heart's in it, and live the phrase "sky's the limit." So every time I hear those, that's like, I can't believe he even said that. Like, damn, Biggie, that is like a real like motivational speech, and the fact that he made it all rhyme or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that lyric that's one of my favorite lyrics. Yeah, a lot of Nipsey lyrics for sure too. But yeah, as far as like really meaningful, those would probably be the "Sky's the Limit" Hustler's Prayer by Biggie.
Okay, feel it. So your legacy is so important to everybody, each human in this world. So I feel like, you know, what do you want your family, your peers, your tribe to remember you the most by?
I feel like it's just like my good energy. I feel like one thing I've always I took great pride and confidence is just people saying, "Man, you're a good dude. You're a good person. You're a good person to be around." You know what I mean? I try not to be ever killing vibes. I try not to ever be like the bearer of bad news. I always try to bring people up. You know what I mean? I give everyone compliments and shit. I feel like aside from all accolades or any titles or positions. You know, if you're just a good person, like there's one thing I've learned, especially from traveling everywhere, like there's nothing in the world, no money or nothing could make someone a good person. You're either a good person or you're not a good person. And to me, I feel like I take pride in I'm proud that when people like my family might meet people and they're like, "Oh, you're, you know, like my mom." I worked for the school district forever long. Sometimes my mom be at church. And then they'll be like, my mom will be like, "Oh yeah, my son used to work at Home Gardens." Like, "What? You're Alfredo's mom?" Like, "Oh, Senora, I love your son. Like, he helped us out. He did X, Y, Z. Like, thank you so much. He's such a good person." Like, the fact that type of impact that I left, that, you know, like they could hear it from other people. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They could hear it from other people. So I feel like that's why I never crossed nobody. I never robbed nobody, nothing like that. So yeah, I've always been a good energy, I feel like. So that's something I take pride in. I hope my family will remember me by, is that I always was like I always joke, none of my cousins really kick it or talk to each other unless I got put it together. Like my sisters don't really talk to all my cousins. Some of my cousins don't talk to my other cousins. Some of my cousins that are like siblings with different parents, like got different, like same dad, different mom or something, they might not all talk to each other unless like it's a something out like, yo, come through, and I'll be like the one. It's kind of like the godfather of the family. Like my dad's like that with all his generation, and then I'm like that with me and my family, my cousins. I kind of be the one that like orchestrates and
That's
gets everybody
beautiful,
together.
man. I respect that a lot. So yeah, man, drop your socials, your current EPs,
Oh, for sure.
your events, what's coming up for 2019 or ending of 2019 to 2020.
My IG, everything is Xfredo, Xfredo. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter. I don't be using Snap too much, and my Snapchat is x.fredo, but definitely the gram. I'm dropping music constantly. I just dropped a song called Boarding Pass earlier this year when I got back from Croatia. I got a project called Lethal Weapon on the way with my boy A. Kane. That's going to drop hopefully before the year ends, actually, because we got volume 2 already done also. So we're going to just keep pumping out music, visuals, hopefully a lot more, you know, like interviews. I want to make sure I get some feedback also once more music comes out. So, but yeah, holler at me. I'm here in Riverside. You can hit me up, find me anytime, or at a show near you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for pulling up
Thank you,
again.
thank
I
you.
appreciate it so much for taking the time to pull up.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for watching Her TV, baby.
Her TV.
Fredo.
Tune in, hit subscribe, baby. Let's go.